All right, MA Marignon, turn 19, and due to some travel and not wanting to travel with my recording setup, these will be done in a review format. So until turn 25, these turns have already happened. I know it's upcoming, so yeah, for better or for worse. Right. Panic times. I'll try not to spoil anything. So yeah, distilling gold. This is sad because we're planning on doing this with our pretender, who's much more efficient at this. But I mean, it's 558 gold. That is definitely useful. Finishing research and alteration. That is useful. And then we caught a battle between Tianqi and Shiniyama. This is Tianqi attacking, looks like. And yeah, this is a pretty substantial battle here. Tianqi is using a mix of their infantry, right? They have quite a few types, actually, of infantry. These guys, high damage with their attack, not very good attack skill, no shield, protection, like everything kind of mediocre across the board, other than they deal like a good amount of damage. And then they also have a few different types of infantry that have like these large tower shields, kind of similar to the Urmorian line of troops, and but higher damage weapon here, this slashing weapon, and pretty good defense skill thanks to the shield, good protection, like yeah, solid heavy infantry here. And then they also brought along some of their archers. They also get crossbows, but the composite bow is better than the short bow, longer range by a bit, more damage by a bit, and of course they fire every round, not every other round. Otherwise, a little bit of cavalry, not too many of his sacreds. I think, yeah, these guys, these red guard are his sacreds, so just a few of them, possibly on guard commander. And then, yeah, some other horsemen, and like no mage support. It is still pretty early. But yeah, so pretty much just a troop army. And then on the other side of the field for Shiniyama, it looks like he did actually bring some mages. Yeah, a decent amount of mages, actually. None of whom I think are particularly high-level casters. Yeah, this is just a Death 1 caster. Probably also like, yeah, Death 1. So just some skeletons spam, it looks like, and a little bit of protection spam here from this Uba. And actually, this I think is a cap-only mage. The Bakemono sorcerer is kind of one of the defining features of the nation. Pretty good thugs, I think, and good casters. Otherwise, a lot of size 1 troops, right? So they're not going to love all this arrow fire because they pack in pretty tight. And if there were any magic, that they suffer to evocation, but they're really scary in melee because they have really high attack density, right? They can fit 6 guys a square. And then quite a few of these Daibakemonos who are pretty nasty, like, yeah, good skills, like good protection, like good hit points, good damage. So it's, they're just expensive. So yeah, I think it's going to be bloody either way. A fireball coming out. But yeah, Shiniyama probably, they have mage support, and they probably have better troops in the Daibakemono. But I think Tianqi has the numbers, maybe not. Yeah, here's like an Earth Meld or Earth Grip. That's pretty nice because, yeah, I guess a good engagement here, like, I don't know, a third or half of Tianqi's units there didn't manage to engage, and then the rest of them, you can see they just get absolutely rolled over by the Bakemono. The heavy infantry for Tianqi with the shield are doing pretty, like, much better. They're up against like fewer Bakemono, and I don't know if these warriors are better than or worse than the spear variant. But like, they're not very killy, like these heavy infantry, like, and especially against these Daibakemono with a lot of hit points and a lot of protection. It's gonna be pretty difficult for them to cut through. So luckily for Tianqi, these Bakemono just choose to chase the routers rather than immediately going after his archers. But yeah, I'd say he's in big trouble here. So yeah, not without loss, it looks like, for Shiniyama, but pretty crushing for Tianqi, which is probably good news for us since he's our neighbor. I mean, we have a nap with him, so we're not too worried, and we knew that that he was fighting. But let's take a look at the casualties. So almost a complete wipe for Tianqi, quite a few troops, but of course, like, no mages committed. So, not the end of the world as long as his infrastructure is unlocked and he has a few turns. And then, not without loss. So Shinyama actually brought almost double, so quite a bit more. I guess, the Bakamona, the size 1 troops just pack in really, really tightly, so sometimes their formations look smaller than they are. And he doesn't really lose, he doesn't lose any casters, and he only loses 4 Dai Bakemono, so quite a few losses here, but these guys are probably, they're pretty cheap. Let's take a look at the shows. They're even cheaper. That I would say this is a pretty good win for Shinyama here. But probably not relevant for us just yet, unless Shinyama completely rolls over Tianqi, which we don't really want, because we don't have an app with Shinyama, and he might decide to keep rolling. And then, we're getting attacked by Bandar Log, and I was very happy to see this when it happened. So those Tiger Riders came into our force, and I felt pretty good about this. There's our flaming arrows going off. So of course, we don't get the first volley, and then we just have a little bit of PD to try to hold things up, but not too much. And then our knights go in, and you can see there's a lot fewer Tiger Riders, and some of those are just tigers now. Of course, once the rider gets killed, the tigers still fight on, but they're less effective. And what remains gets chopped up by our knights. We're gonna get a little friendly fire here, but not too much. Well, okay, maybe a little more here, but the crossbows definitely hurt our knights. The fact that we have the fire resistance does help a lot against the flaming arrow, the flaming arrow's friendly fire. Ugh. Don't try to say that 10 times fast. That works out really well for us. We lose 1 Knight of the Chalice, probably to friendly fire, maybe not. Bandar Commander got 2 kills. That's a perfect result. I reached out to Bandar after this, like I said, suggesting that we just end the war, right? Original borders. I didn't suggest a non-aggression pact, kind of see because after a loss like that, it's we're clearly stacking up pretty well at this point in the game, and might be interested in resuming the war, but if we can get a breather, we'll see. And if he comes back saying that he would rather do, he won't end the war without a non-aggression pact, like I said, that's fine. Some unexpected events, 1 blood slave, that's fine. We lose some tax, also fine. And then unfortunately we lose a scout here. I think we've seen Naba's Bless. It's been a second since I recorded this. Actually, I don't know if he has any sacreds here. Okay, he has 1, although he's not a priest, so he probably won't be able to bless himself. Quite a few sacreds here, though. That's kind of interesting that he has no... I wonder if there's a prophet in here somewhere. Nope, doesn't look like it. That's kind of sad anytime you have a bunch of sacreds and nobody to bless them, but a substantial force. Not sure why they're just hanging out patrolling in this province, but we can find out after the jump. Alright, so this is the situation and what we're up to. That place where we lost the scout is down here in this cave. Not sure why Naba would hold up here and patrol, but possibly there's an Arcosafalian force they're hoping to catch, nearby. Not too relevant for us. Hard to say how this war is going. Arco doesn't look that big, but we don't really know how big Naba is. But probably it's going in Naba's favor, I feel like. I'm not really sure. Looks like this is still going to be ongoing for a little while, which is a good thing. And then this is where Shinyama had that major win against Tianqi, so it does look like Tianqi, it's hard to say, right? This is in Shinyama's cap circle, but, they're both of these capitals are quite close, right? So it's only 2 provinces to get onto Tianqi's capital, so I'm not sure what else Tianqi has. Obviously, he has some infrastructure up near us that's a lot safer, and, we can see some raiding, on back and forth really on both sides. So this conflict also looks like it's ongoing, and then there's some conflicts that are winding down. So Urmor is cracked, right? So it looks like Utgard is setting up to take them out. Still not really sure what's going on with Pangea and Pythium And then Ind is under siege here by Ariu, so it's not cracked, so it'll be a second, but that's looking like it's probably winding down. I mean, Ind still has a good amount of territory here, but they may not have another fort. Hopefully they do. But if they don't, they're in deep trouble. They're probably done. And then, of course, Nazca is not doing great. They are probably done as well. In terms of our war, we see this other stack of Tiger Riders that's being held out by this mountain pass. So yeah, hopefully Bandar will be convinced that this has been a bad idea. And then speaking of convincing our opponents that this is a bad idea to attack us, we are hoping to catch the Jaguar Warriors now. There's really only one place that they can raid if they're going to attack us, and this mountain pass is open. So we're moving the same force, right, that just won that battle here to hopefully kill some Jaguar Warriors, and then we are moving commander out, recruiting a few more cavemen. Actually, I guess it will be nice to have two commanders, because we don't know where the pretender is. Like, anybody could be assassinated at any time. We're like, here's a barbarian chief. We're continuing to recruit like a bunch of just chaff commanders. So we'll see how that goes. Recruitment wise, other than our garbage, continuing with grandmasters and knights in the capital, and then otherwise, witch hunters, crossbowmen, and I think this is crossbowmen and an initiate. We'll see how Bandar responds, and then hopefully we'll get a win here. But things are looking significantly better in terms of the 2v1. That was turn 19. All right, MA Marignon, turn 20. Let's take a look at this guy. So we're attacking out here against Bandar. Right, we split some knights out to raid. I think I forgot to mention that. Bandar did not leave. In fact, there's no PD here. These are just some retreats, it looks like. So we take that, no problem. This is kind of overkill. Then we catch quite a few enemy battles. Let's take a look at our own here first. So we're hoping... Yep. So now we are catching Miklin's forces. And these Jaguar Warriors are definitely more dangerous. Like, here we've put some... Ooh, boy. This guy's real messed up. Wow. A lot of these guys are really messed up. I guess expansion was kind of rough for him, or maybe he moved through like a disease site, or like... here's a guy that's not diseased, although, you can see these guys, they've been fighting, and they don't have amazing protection. But once they go into this Were-Jaguar form, quite a few attacks, like all, good attack skill, quite a bit of damage. But, I mean, we can see that they don't love crossbows. I don't even think we've gotten flaming arrows down quite yet. In fact... I think our grandmasters, did they decide that they didn't, maybe I forgot to, no, they have gems. They felt that this didn't warrant gem usage, which, it worked out pretty well. We're probably going to get some friendly fire here. And then there's one caster, just an H or two, he's just here for the blessing. You can see one of our PD here is decaying. That goes pretty well for us. We lose one crossbowman somehow. Not sure how we would have lost a crossbowman, but that's fine. I prefer to lose crossbowmen to knights. And then, this is, the Bandar force was probably roughly twice this size. So I'm expecting Miklin to have more, right? This is a less important victory because, he was risking less. But still, two excellent wins here against both of our opponents, and, feeling a lot better about this whole situation. And then let's take a look at these other battles that we caught. This is probably just, Shiniyama's army moving forward against moderate PD, not a ton. Did they just get a mage as a PD commander? No, this has got to be... I think he left some mages here. Maybe they're site searchers? 3 geomancers. Which, I don't know. Let's take a look at his research. But this is just not enough stuff. Even with some casting support, personal luck, which is fine. It's going to help keep the mages alive. But The problem with trying to, yeah, this is probably just site searchers that got caught. Like, I don't think he was actually trying to, because I'm not even sure if these guys are scripted. Because, yeah, now they're just going into some really, like, basic evocation. So, yeah, that's kind of unfortunate for Tianqi, although it does look like they escape. So, you know, not too bad. And then, yeah, it looks like this is probably an assault on Ermor. And it looks like Utgard is mostly just rocking a pile of giants. He does have a few Fetty Hags, both just Death 1. Oh, 3 of them, all Death 1. Maybe going to be making some skeletons or Dust to Dust. Nice. That's actually a really good idea. Dust to Dust is an excellent anti-undead spell. And then, yeah, these are just regular archers. I was wondering if they had the Banefire. Not too much here from Ermor. Just a few of their sacreds. Doesn't even look like they're going to get blessed. And then, yeah, one censor who is blessed somehow, although not a priest. Kind of curious, what bless are they running? Shock fire, sure. Defense skill. Magic resistance is nice because, you know, a lot of ways that you get rid of undead is, you know, banishment and things like that. So full magic resistance, probably a good idea. Undying +2, sure. Strength +2, kind of a light bless, it seems like, for middle-aged Ermor. You know, usually it seems like they rely pretty heavily on their sacreds, although I haven't played them, so I'm certainly no expert. Oh, actually, he's got a few other casters here as well. Yeah, another death caster here. So yeah, I think he's pretty well set up actually to take out Ermor. You know, he's got some priests, he's got death casters, and like, yeah, this is no problem. So well done to Utgard. You know, it's always nice to have the pop kills eliminated, you know, if you're not a pop kill nation. So, you know, we do like to see that. And then we had some random events. We found a silver deposit. That is excellent. Bad omens in our capital. That's fine. And then, yeah, we got some gold. Very nice, considering we have misfortune. And then Bandar got attacked by trolls, but that's in their capital. This is actually kind of interesting, because we can kind of see, or no, I'm sorry, this is not in their capital. This is just where they're kind of massing their other army that's like stuck, you know, can't actually get through. So looks like he's bringing up some more elephants, right? And we knew about the Tiger Riders. And like, yeah, not too worried about elephants. Elephants can be pretty nasty, especially if you point buff them. They're not great in terms of point buffing, right, because they take up an entire square themselves, so they're not like an efficient thing to point buff, but you know, because they're tramplers and, you know, fairly scary, like if you point buff them they can get pretty nasty, but you know, I don't really see any caster support here, and like I guess just against regular human infantry elephants can be okay, but like our knights with the charge are going to kill them so fast, they're not really going to get a chance to trample, and that's assuming any of them even arrive, right? Because elephants, they don't actually have great protection, so they're not going to love a ton of flaming crossbow shots, so yeah, not too worried about that, but they are able to trample the trolls without too much difficulty, so that's good for them. And then we lose our scout in the same place, so it looks like, you know, it's the same force, he's just hanging out and patrolling while he waits for the pass to open. And then we finished our palisade in the cave, which is excellent. Very glad that didn't also get knocked down. So yeah, I'll see you guys after the jump. Alright, so this is the situation and what we're doing about it. We actually have a decent counterattack going here. Not all the elements are super strong, so we have, you know, just our caveman group here. This is kind of an expensive way to raid. These guys are not cheap and they're not great, but I think they can handle like minimal PD. This is a pretty predictable move, so it's possible that he PD dumps here, but you know, Mictlan probably doesn't have a ton of gold, so that wouldn't be the end of the world. It would be pretty easy for our regular army here to then knock out like that kind of PD dump. We do see a Coatl here, just by himself, which is a little odd, like maybe a site searcher, which is pretty optimistic on Mictlan's part. Usually for myself, I don't like to site search land that's kind of contested, because, you know, if you lose it, then you're, you know, using your mage turns just to give your enemy gems. So maybe he felt quite confident about holding it, but we feel differently. And then, you know, our main army is just moving forward, shouldn't really have any problems there, and then, you know, we're clearing out these militia here with our paladin and knight raiding group, so, you know, rolling things back, not quite back to our starting line, but getting there. And then we can see Naba here is doing like some deep raiding against Arcosafali. They do have a number of like stealthy units, so definitely something they can do. And then it also looks like they pushed forward here. We see a fairly large army-ish, medium-sized army on top of Arcosafali's capital. So it looks like he's using these light spearmen and war elephants and recruiting mystics, which is all pretty standard Arcosafali stuff. And then we're trying to get eyes back on like Miklin. We kind of spent some time scouting Bandar a bit, and they look pretty small. We see that Oceania has made landfall here, and then of course Naba looks like they border him to the south. So yeah, Bandar is not too large. Did not hear back from Bandar at all, one way or the other. So, we'll see. Like maybe it just took them a second. They haven't seen the message. I'm often late in my Diplo, so could be the same kind of thing. And then we see that Ashdod has brought some Bakemono of his own to help siege this, although Nazca is still not broken yet, which is good. We want Ashdod to be tied up as long as possible while we settle this situation with Miklin and Bandar. And then unfortunately Ind is cracked, so Ariu is moving forward at a good pace. Like I said, there's still a lot of territory here that they haven't conquered, but yeah, once they take Ind's capital, the rest of this will probably fall pretty rapidly. And then we see that Vanheim is getting sieged by some independents, so we're going to take a look at that. The fort is cracked, but independents will never actually storm your fort, so you can kind of just leave them there forever. You won't ever lose the fort, but obviously you can't do any recruitment, and you don't get full gold, so you usually want to knock them off, but you don't actually have to worry about them taking the fort. And then Ermor isn't quite finished, so Utgard has another fort here that's under siege and cracked, but they have taken Ermor's capital, so Ermor is pretty much done here. And then this is where Shiniyama's army moved forward to, so we're moving our scout here to try to see like what's going to happen, if there's going to be a battle on top of Tianqi's capital. Definitely relevant to us. That's kind of our only scout down here, so we don't have a great idea of how the raiding war is progressing back and forth between them. And then in terms of our recruitment and other things we're doing, we are pushing around a few site searchers. We have a guy out here site searching. We're building a lab on top of this throne so we can start to recruit some of these crystal mages for the Earth access. And we will want a fort here, but we don't really have the money just yet. Speaking of money, because we're getting that infrastructure, we're probably, we're not even upgrading this fort here, so just kind of leaving this palisade in place for now. We're not recruiting any more crossbowmen, really. Like, this just kind of leftover recruitment from last turn. We are still getting mages, at least everywhere. And, our Grandmaster's finishing off. We're squeezing in another Witch Hunter thanks to our Citadel, and we are still getting Knights here. But yeah, recruitment slowing down just a little bit while we get some infrastructure up. And then we're, bringing just sort of some what would have been more reinforcements together to get rid of these barbarians. There is a fairly valuable province. It says it's only income 33. There's probably a lot of unrest here right now, but it's a decently valuable province and a decent amount of resources here that go to, 2 of our forts. So yeah, and you don't want to leave an independent province on your border for too long. Tianqi is pretty busy, but I don't know how busy Abyssia is. So he, might decide to snatch this up. So we're going to clear that out, and then, we'll collect whatever else we've recruited and send them off to the front. So yeah, I think that covers turn 20. All right, MA Marignon, turn 21. Let's see. So we finished research and alteration. We're headed for 5 for solar eclipse, although, we do get some useful spells along the way. Luck and body ethereal are really good for an astral nation, and we do have astral, and we found a magic site. Speaking of astral, it's an astral pearl, I believe. So that is very nice. And then, yeah, we were expecting some assassination attempts. So this is, probably Miklin's Pretender. Yeah. I don't think they get any other assassins, but this is the advantage of, filling your stack with garbage. So he just, he's going to kill this poor barbarian chief. That is why we recruited him, and there he goes. So I am putting that in the win column, and I'm sure that's a bit annoying for him. Now we know like where his pretender is, so that's also useful. And then, we had some attacks, mostly against Mictlan. I believe these are our, cavemen. So I'm going to see, it's a fairly minimal PD, maybe 6, maybe a little less than 6. And a pretty easy indie type as well, right? Like just light infantry and militia. I don't even think they get javelins. So our cavemen beat them with clubs pretty easily. Not without loss, though. I think we lose like 1 or 2 cavemen. Cavemen are not an ideal raider. Yeah, we lose 2 cavemen. They're 20 gold apiece. Ouch. Not ideal, but they were there on the border. We could recruit them. Like now we have this province back. So I'm put in the win column. I think this is our main army moving forward. Not really expecting any resistance here. Yeah, just a little bit of PD. We do not need to watch that. We do not lose anything to friendly fire. Always nice. And these are our Knights of the Chalice, and Paladin moving forward. This is not PD. This is just a province must have revolted. I think it was actually revolted from Pandar, but might have revolted against us, just due to our misfortune scales, but it's just militia, so we're gonna clean that up, no problem. Wow, we do lose a knight. Man, how does that happen? That's rough. Let's hang on. I do not remember this. Yeah, we just take some hits. Have we already lost him? Maybe somebody was bleeding. Yeah, looks like those are all the knights, right? Yeah. Huh. Doesn't replay bug, I'm assuming, because I don't. Oh wait, no, hang on. Right, we have Undying in the Bless. This Knight of the Chalice is in fact dead, though he gets to fight on. And of course, this is the benefit and kind of the downside of Undying. It's extra hit points, but also kind of not extra hit points. So we just some lucky militia probably. So very sad to be losing Knights of the Chalice to militia, but it does happen. And then we caught some battles between other people. So we caught a battle between Naba and Arcosafali. This is a pretty substantial army here from Naba. This is one of their cap-only casters, I believe, and their prophet. Kind of interesting. I don't know. I usually don't like profiting like really valuable casters, right? Because the casters like have better things to be doing than like holy spells and doing your divine blessing. But I don't know. Maybe there's a reason to do it. I have not played Naba, so there could be things I don't know about. And there's not a whole lot here, so he's gonna have no problem. I do think we've seen the bless. Kind of magey. The Blood Surge will help the troops, and I don't think Naba's Sacreds are considered like fantastic. They're not bad. They're a little light on the protection, but like good skills, and the glamour can be kind of annoying to deal with. But their attack density is not great because they're half giants. But that is a pretty substantial force, and I'm sure Arcosafali is not thrilled about that. Not sure where that actually is. And then there's a battle in Ind. This is definitely an important one. Ariu is bringing a bunch of stuff in. Okay, nice. So he got flaming arrows up like really fast. Oh no, he just has flaming weapons on the bless. Right, and of course because it's Ind like just everybody's sacred base. Not everybody, but a lot of people. Even the wall archers are sacred. So he's got flaming weapons, which people usually don't really like the weapons blesses, because one of the main issues is that this damage is applied like separately to the main attack, so it's not added on to the main attack. So this flaming weapons damage, this 6 armor piercing damage, has to defeat the armor like as though it were a separate attack, and like 6 AP damage is not that much. Anyway, but he's got flaming weapons. It's it's not great. to go up against magic weapons, magic resistance, magic leadership. Kind of a light bless, I feel like, for Ind, although, yeah, haven't played Ind either. Bit of a theme here. I think we've seen Aryu's bless. Yeah, I remember this decay weapons. But yeah, pretty rainbowy, like, yeah, pretty significant. He does like this combat speed. I've, played with this player before. And like, yeah, it definitely helps out here, right? Because, it's fewer volleys of flaming arrows that he has to go up against. Quite a bit of stuff, actually, here for Ind inside. Like, he's, just some desperation summoning, very standard if you're under siege, like just low-level conjuration. But, these scorpion beasts are not bad. They're not fantastic. Yeah, baby elementals, it looks like. Some ogres, like, yeah, all classic, like, panic button sort of things, but definitely what you should be doing, your capital's under siege and you still have gems and mages left. And then this is Pretender, a Celestial Lion, so that's pretty cool. I feel like you don't really see this chassis as much. It's, one of the monster chassis, one of the expander chassis, but I feel like it doesn't expand fantastic. It's a bit tricky. I've messed around with it in single player a little bit. It's low protection, so there's actually like quite a few things that can kill it. It doesn't have regeneration built in, and it doesn't natively have nature magic, so it's a bit expensive to put regeneration on it. It does have a fear aura, which is pretty cool. And I mean, it's a serious caster. He's got a bunch of gems on it, so definitely very dangerous. And then, yeah, just some of his astral mages who look like they put luck on themselves. And then, some of Ind's sacreds. He gets a couple flavors of them. I think, one of them, I think these Mirror Guard are a little better than these Soldier Priests, but yeah, they're kind of mediocre as sacreds go. They're not bad, but they're not great. They're probably not going to stack up fantastic to these elves, especially considering the blesses, that are in play here. They do okay, right? There's some glamours going down, and there's probably a few casualties here. The holy words and the smites. Ind has like quite a few high-level priests. Also, I don't think there's any fire resistance. Oh no, there is fire resistance. Nice, quite a bit of fire resistance. That's unfortunate for us. So yeah, these lesser fire elementals are going to be a lot less effective, especially, well, does he have magic weapons on here? I actually don't think he does. Yeah, so he has the decay weapons, although I don't think decay is going to do fantastic against the elementals, but, they get taken down anyway. The ethereal aspect, only 75%, and then, of course, yeah, you can see, right, like this Pretender goes down pretty quickly to these sacreds, although possibly, yeah, some routes. These guys don't have fantastic morale, and the fear aura is pretty nasty, so this is looking a little dangerous and a little bloody for Aryu. But yeah, the Furbolg here are able to seal the deal, and yeah, it kind of highlights that Pretender chassis is a bit on the squishy side. But yeah, still very cool. Like to see different stuff. So, hats off to Ind for giving it a shot, but it does not work out for them. And that actually does net the Vanquish. So yeah, I'm not sure. It says he doesn't rule a single province. I guess Aryu may have done a ton of raiding this turn, but it did kind of look like those other provinces were under Ind's control. Maybe you need a fort? I'm not sure. We'll have to take a look and see. It is possible that Aryu did a bunch of raiding this turn. Aryu does raid pretty effectively as an elf faction. So now without cost, Aryu loses about half of their sacreds, which is pretty significant. These guys are cap only, and then loses a little bit of other chaff that doesn't really care about. And then of course Ind loses everything, but not a bad cap defense by any stretch of the imagination. And then, yeah, I think this is the other fort. Yeah, just some, says maybe a mercenary group. Yeah, I think it's a mercenary group. Which, not a bad mercenary group either. These Jade Amazons they're okay, as far as troops go. And, yeah, there's not much in here for Ermor. He has some ghouls, which are okay. And then he's got a censor, who are they're okay as far as thugs go. Not fantastic thugs. They're not mages, so it does kind of limit what they can do. But yeah, the giants have no trouble with the ghouls. And then we have some unexpected events. Bad tax harvest on our capital. This one does really hurt. You take misfortune. This is what happens. And then, yeah, bad tax harvest here as well, which hurts a lot less. This is a significantly less valuable province, but we still don't love it. And then, unfortunately, we lose our scout. It looks like, Tianqi was patrolling his capital, and also Shiniyama didn't really like what he was looking at because he didn't choose to jump on top. And he's definitely like augmented. He's got some Yetis here, which is, not bad. I always forget how early Yetis come out. They're a little on the expensive side as far as summons go, but they're not bad. I like them. And then, he's got a little communion here, it looks like. Yeah, not sure what they're going to be up to. Mind Burn. Nice. That's a good, choice, like a good early, damage spell. It's not going to be fantastic in, a large army fight, but, it would have provided him a decent way to kill, those Diabakumono, the tougher troops, although probably would have killed him too slowly. But nonetheless, Shiniyama decided not to jump on top, so I would say, this is patrolling well spent. I'll see you guys after the jump. Alright, so this is the situation, and what we're doing about it. We're raiding forward, both with our cavemen up here. We'll see how they do. There's still 6 of them, so they should be able to take on, that same level of PD they just wiped out. And then we have our knights moving forward. Yeah, it's unfortunate we're down to 5, but we're still not getting penalized for a small group, and we don't have a ton of scouting, so this is a much more dangerous raid. We might bump into something here, but we need to be moving forward, and then we are moving forward with our main army, just capturing this province, and we'll hopefully be able to cross up here through this mountain pass. It is currently open, but it is heading. We're in early winter, so it's possible that it closes next turn, and we have to loop around. So we'll see. We're taking this province from Mikland rather than this one, just because that way, Bandar can't really do anything. Right? If we take this province, then Bandar could take it from us and move through. But this way, it's kind of diplomatically a hassle. He still just has this connection to move through, but it's closed because it's winter. He can just sit there. Still haven't heard back from the Bandar player. So it depends. For diplomacy, some people just don't bother doing it at all. So, you might be one of those players, or, he might be like me and kind of does it periodically. But happy to have him just hang out there. Then we're going to take this province back from the barbarians. Always a little sad to be using gems against independents, but I'm not super confident in this force. To take it without casualties. And we would really prefer to not lose anything, so I'm okay, spending a few gems on flaming arrows. This may end up doing nothing, because we do need to use this guy to bless as well. So the flaming arrows might come up a little too late, but it should help, I think, and we should be able to take that back without too much trouble. Unfortunately, we lost our scout down here, so we kind of lost sight on this conflict between Shiniyama and Tianqi. Vanheim is under siege by vampires, so that's probably why this is cracked. Vampires can be a real hassle to get rid of, so there's a fair chance this will be under siege for a while, and we may get to see a fairly large response from Vanheim. So we'll probably leave our scout here for a second, and see if we can see anything coming in from Vanheim. And then, Ariu, it looks like, did manage to raid out, and take all the surrounding land. So that is why, Ind was wiped out this turn. And then Nazca is cracked now, so we're probably going to be seeing a storm here shortly. And then our recruitment is kind of late this turn, because, obviously we lost all of our cap income, which definitely hurts. And we are also upgrading this fortress here this turn, starting that. I think we are, we're also recruiting, Crystal Mage here. And so we're still doing, full mage recruitment, but we're basically recruiting, no troops this turn. So, we're going to be a little light in terms of reinforcements, but we are bringing up, what we have, along with, another caster here, because, it would be good, to have a backup, even though we do kind of have a backup built in, and you never know when you might run into something. So, it'd be nice if this group, actually had some magic support if it runs into combat. And then, we see Arcosafali's dragon doing a little bit of counter raiding, and let's take a quick look at research. which, yeah, we're still a little ways off from Solar Eclipse from Alteration 5. Let's see, where are we? Yeah, we got a good ways to go. But, we are getting some useful things. After that, like Conjuration 3 is going to help us spend less gems because we'll get the powers. And, we don't mind having access to baby fire elementals. And then, looking at Soul Slay here at Thaumaturgy 5. So, yeah, I think that covers turn 21.